Arcade Animals!
Welcome to episode 3 of my Evercade cartridge review series. Today we're going to be talking about Toaplan Arcade 1. I'm going to show you some gameplay, talk about what I like, what I don't like, and at the end I'll tell you what my favorite game is on this cartridge. And all you've got to do is please subscribe and like the video and let me know in the comments what your favorite game from this cartridge is. So welcome to the most must-see channel on YouTube. Welcome to
Get over here!
Animality. Toaplan is a company that was around for one decade. They started in 1984, they ended in 1994. They have recently been picked back up in 2018 and changed the name of the company to Tatsujin. And we get cool carts like this that have multiple games showcasing their decade-long run of awesomeness. They have made plenty of different types of games and titles, but they are most known for shoot 'em ups. This cartridge has 8 games on it, and we're going to go through and talk about them, but I also wanted to say that in this box, not only do you get the cartridge, the manual, which are typical of Evercade carts, but this one came with a sweet poster. Also wanted to mention that some of these games were in the arcades as vertical shooters with the long screen. Depending on what system you're playing it on, Evercade has an option for you to change the settings. If you're playing it on something like an EXPR handheld, you just flip it sideways. There's a button on the side that changes the orientation of the screen to tape mode. And on this, the A and B buttons are down here now, and you can use them just as if you were using it there. Or on other systems, you can go under the display settings and change it to the original aspect ratio, which is the vertical mode, pixel perfect. But I just prefer to have it on full screen, especially since a lot of people watching YouTube are just watching it on their phones. Toaplan released their first ever game called Tiger Heli. It's a 1 or 2 player, alternating vertical scrolling shmup. The D-pad moves your helicopter while the A button uses a bomb, the B button fires your gun, or hold the Y button to auto-fire the guns. You're dropped into a war zone blasting away enemy buildings, ground, and naval targets. Avoid the counterfire while picking up bonuses by shooting certain targets while completing your mission. This game is reminiscent of fun old computer games to me, with the perfect amount of screen scrolling to action ratio that I'll return to time and time again. In 1986, Toaplan came up with an interesting side-scrolling action game. You control a powerful combat robot with the D-pad, punch with the A, and kick with the B buttons. Battle your way across 6 planets, gain power-ups by collecting flashing crosses or red orbs, and take down each level's final boss. It initially wasn't well received with its cutesy characters and music, yet another game where you jump by pressing up, but I think it's decent enough playthrough. Alcon, or Allied League of Cosmic Nations, puts you as a space fighter pilot counterattacking an alien race who've invaded a human-controlled location on the planet of Theron. Shoot air or ground targets while collecting stars to exchange for power-ups that allow for different gameplay mechanics, such as spawning a robot wingman to help you out. Mostly a non-stop flowing
game, I found this pretty fun yet challenging. There are a few cheats and tips, such as staying on top of an enemy as they will not fire at you within a certain radius. Teki Paki from 1991 is a 1 or 2 player simultaneous puzzle game where you move L-shaped blocks to fall from the top with the D-pad and rotate them with the A and B buttons. Clump 5 same color blocks together for a chain reaction. They don't have to be straight lines, just sets of the same color. Just like Tetris, blocks move faster the further you go in. The game was created to express the catharsis that arises from communication between people. Maybe I just need to play this title more, or maybe with another person to get it, but I really didn't like this game. Back to the shmups. Pilot a blue biplane with the D-pad, bomb with the A button, fire guns with the B button, or turbo fire with the Y button. 1987 gave us a game that used a new 16-bit processor with FM sound, and they called it Flying Shark. A vertically scrolling shooter with endless waves of colorful enemies and obstacles through 5 levels. Gather power-ups and blast enemies to reach end-of-level runways. Completing the game restarts it with higher difficulty. Flying Shark is Toaplan's first arcade game to reach 10,000 sales. This game is a lot of fun, even though it scrolls vertically. Moving the plane to either side of the screen reveals more of the map. You're also flying over treetops, so watch out for unseen enemies. In 1988, ace pilot Tatsuo defended his home planet from the evil Dogorava's forces. Relive the courageous journey in this vertically scrolling shooter, set for 1 or 2 players simultaneously. Get power-ups to switch between 3 distinct weapons. Make use of the skull-shaped Truxton bombs to even the odds. Truxton is all about memorization if you want to advance through the game. It has the usual button layout of move, bomb, fire, and turbo fire. It's a game that truly showcases the imagination of its creator. I've played through this game on Sega Genesis, and I'm glad to have another way to play it. Snow Bros was designed to showcase Japanese culture and video games to the rest of the world. This platformer, released in 1990, lets 1 or 2 players control Nick and Tom as they attempt to rescue the twin princesses from a horrible monster. Use the D-pad to control the characters, the A button to jump, B button to cover opponents with snow, and then kick the snowball. Use the platforms to gain the high ground to take out all opponents with 1 snowball for the biggest bonus. With simple mechanics and 50 levels to complete, I found this to be an enjoyable and endlessly replayable platform game. Lastly, and my absolute favorite game on this cart, has to be Zero Wing. The Mega Drive version is where the infamous "all your bays are belong to us" comes from. I'm sure you've seen the meme before. Zero Wing is a side-scrolling shmup for 1 or 2 players simultaneously that looks like you're piloting a spaceship through an H.R. Geiger painting. Strike back against invading alien cyborg forces by moving with the D-pad, firing blasters with the B button, or automatically with the Y button. The A button is used as a tractor beam to suck in power-ups or even some enemies. Press it again to blow them back at the opposing forces. You can switch or upgrade weapons depending on the color power-up. Yes, I die a lot in this game, but unlike some of the others on this cart, it's not game over after 3 deaths. You can continue to trek right where you left off by just continuing or popping in another quarter, if you're talking about a real arcade. Zeroing is such a unique experience, triple blasting through the multiple types of enemies as you traverse the terrain to fight multiple boss battles, all memorable with their distinct art style, and I really like this game. If you want to be an official arcade animal, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. We'll catch you on the next one.